If you were advising the president right now, a role that you've had in the past, what would you be saying to deal with that reality?
Well, first of all, we should never have played ourselves into this position.
Understood, but here we are.
Easily anticipatable that the Iranians would make a move against the Strait of Hormuz, and we should have taken, in conjunction with the attacks on Iran itself, we should have taken steps to pre-deploy forces so that Iran wouldn't have such an easy play to make. Now, where they are, the distant blockade is a smart American reaction. That is, we can prevent Iran from benefiting from having control of the straits, but we're not willing to escalate, which would be a substantial escalation, and force openness of the strait. We can't make commercial providers run the risks of going through a potentially mined or potentially attack-prone strait. And so we're at a Mexican standoff with the Iranians, which means we're going to have to negotiate some kind of arrangement that's not just in our interest, but also in their interests to get them to release the chokehold on the strait.
So in other words, pay the Iranians off. You don't believe that further escalation in this environment is the right choice for an American president?
Well, I think the president's choices have left us in the situation where the obvious plays are either dramatic escalation, which would require answering the question of how do we believe this escalation will prize the straits out of Iran's grasp when 37 days of intensive military operations against Iran didn't produce capitulation. So dramatic escalation or humiliation, accepting that Iran is now in control of the straits and we have sacrificed free passage in international waterways. I think the president is fulminating against allies because he realizes he's painted himself into that position. And now I think his best move is drawing out negotiations for months on end and hoping that the economic consequences to Iran of keeping the straits closed are more damaging than they are to us and everybody we have externalized the costs of the war onto, including our closest friends and allies.